Hello! Welcome to my playthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2. My name is Luca, and we will be doing a Lone Wolf Retribution run. Now this will be in part set in a similar manner to something a Let's Player that I am very fond of, Grimmeth R, is doing. He is in essence taking the KOTOR 2 game. He's playing that, and he's playing through it as if it was a one-on-one tabletop session with a GM. I will be applying something similar in manner to this. It seemed like an interesting concept, and it fits well with the idea of the Lone Wolf Retribution run that I had in mind. So, here we are at character creation. We will be playing a dwarf because we're playing a dwarf male, mostly just because of this right here, Sturdy. Gives us plus 10 maximum vitality, and plus 5% to dodging. Now, for our starting class, which really doesn't matter as much with the playing around that we're going to do, we're going to be starting with Fighter. Just a basic, all-around fighter. We'll deal with this, switch this over to Alabaster. Switch that to phase 6, hairstyle of 4. We're going to go for the strawberry hair because, hey, why the heck not? If I can actually find it. Oh, there we go. Why not be a literal redheaded stepchild? Facial feature 5 of a nice beard because you always need a beard, and we'll be sticking with the standard voice of warrior. Now we have the preset here, and this is where we're going to start making some changes. We're going to keep the standard for the warrior of plus 1 to strength and plus 2 to constitution. This playthrough, we're going to want a lot of constitution due to how the retribution skill works, which I will get to in a moment. So for here, we have Geomancer. We're going to get rid of that point, and we will be putting that into retribution. Retribution reflects receive damage back to the attacker as it says on screen. At level 1, it will be 5% of the damage will be reflected. So 5% of any damage that we're dealt will be flung back at the attacker. So if we are dealt 20 damage, 4 of that damage would go back to the attacker. And we will be removing the 1 point from bartering, and we will be putting that into persuasion. Okay, let's just confirm that. Now, as you can see here, the skill that we had earlier, because we had the one skill in Geomancer, is gone. So we are going to take that and we are going to replace it with Battering Ram. We may come back later on and add some more points to Geomancer, but the primary concern will be getting Retribution up to its maximum value as soon as possible. Now we're going to go to Talents. We're going to remove Opportunist, because here comes the second part of the playthrough. The Lone Wolf talent provides plus 2 max AP, plus 2 recovery AP, so every turn, instead of getting 4 AP, you get 6 AP. You get plus 30% vitality, plus 30% physical armor, plus 30% magical armor, and you have double invested points in attributes and combat abilities, except for Polymorph, while you're adventuring solo or with at most one companion. Now, I'm not sure yet if we will have a companion or if this will be a true solo run. I think that will be something that we decide. Well, I decide later on. Right now, I'm leaning towards taking one party member. I'm not sure who it will be of the possible party members that you can collect. So, regardless, let's add Lone Wolf. Now we'll move on to tags. These are sort of our backstory. The backstory I have in mind for this character is that he was more or less a hillbilly. He was stuck out in the woods. His family was far from what most people would consider civilization, especially the dwarves in the setting. So as such, he is more of a rough-and-tumble sort. So we will be going with the Barbarian. This plays into one part of it. He will do whatever he needs to survive. He will live. That is he is too stubborn to die, in essence. The second one we will be taking is the soldier. I see this basically as at one point he was either conscripted or joined a armed unit of some sort, maybe one of the houses under a dwarven noble. He learned to fight there. That gave him a bit of discipline. There is one other thing that he will have in terms of backstory that I will be sticking with. He cannot abide... trying to think of how to phrase it. He cannot abide others being... He cannot abide imprisonment, whether it's for himself or for others. So, as such, that will just have to be something that we keep in mind when we encounter that. And for the instrument, we have 4 different instruments that will affect the music throughout the game. We have the bansuri, the tambura, the oud, and the cello. We'll be going with the bansuri. And the name... am I fine with that? Lorien. Yeah, sure, you know what? We'll go with Lorien. Or Lorien. Lorien. Let me double check everything, just real quick. Make sure. Okay, that's good. Lone Wolf. That's done. That's done. And that is done. Alright. And now we hit this button. And we will let the intro play. Apologize if you hear background music, but it seems that my upstairs neighbors have decided to play Rock Band.
It all happened like I knew it would.
Ah, yes, my pretties.
A single drop of source magic.
Okay, yeah, that's a rape face. Please no.
And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began.
Why aren't you just a lovely
The
lady?
magisters pointed their fingers at me,
Well, she wasn't pointing a finger, that was a staff.
just as I'd planned.
Wow, you do not look nice.
I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Okay, and that's a nice little intro cinematograph. Well, it's a thing. Again, this is the first Let's Play I have done, as such. The commentary will most likely not be up to high standards, but I will be attempting to keep it at that level. Oh, and here we go. Oh. Looks like we had a nice little sleep there. Share this bed. Oh, wait, we're restrained, aren't we? Oh, hell no.
So, it wasn't a dream after all.
No dream. As a note, you can hold down just highlighting things. Oh, autosave. How nice of you. Let's have a look at this tome. I won't go through and read everything, all of the tomes here, but I will at least leave it up for long enough that if people do care, they can pause and read it themselves.
Ah, you're up. Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
Excuse me, collar.
Fair. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Oh, I'm gonna enjoy killing you.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William, All passengers have to be registered, and you'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Why the hell did you collar me?
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those source spells of yours? See what happens.
Now, while he's he's not the most sophisticated of people, he's not going to be stupid. So this sounds like a trick.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
I'm really going to enjoy killing you at some point, hopefully.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you, so let's just leave it on, shall we? Because, to answer your question, what the collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source.
Source in this case basically acts as the... It basically acts as the mana, for lack of a better term, and we'll see more as we continue on.
For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Go screw yourself, lady. Let's take our leave. Oh my.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
Well, I certainly hope it's a murder and not, someone spilled a can of pasta over top of random corpse remains. That would be slightly
A young magister
awkward.
stands pale and silent.
I guess he would care. I mean, after all...
Ugly sight, it burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
You weren't his protector. You captured him, you...
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
I haven't quite mastered that trick yet.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
You really think I would help you? No.
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed. Who's your real? You let me know if you...
Alright, so let's continue on. Alright, in here, this is an area where you can meet some of the companions that you can recruit from throughout the journey. We'll do their brief little introduction, even if we will not be potentially playing with them. I would like to at least, go meet them, say hi, how's it going?
Ah, there you are. Husband.
What?
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loathsome woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Who's Lucy?
The young woman seems about to raise her hand, but quickly remembers her.
Who indeed? Why, my name is, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
The children break out into giggles.
I say, it is.
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flat.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
I'm more concerned with survival than entertainment.
Guess you aren't a creative type, are you, Chief? I say they're one and the same.
You know anything about the murder that happened right over there? I mean, they're really kind of pissed about it. I mean, it was a lot of blood, too.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out, either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Alright.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Remind me not to smoke whatever it is she's smoking. Alright, and here we have Sybil. Sybil.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot. lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
What are you doing?
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Can you read the future in cow entrails too?
She eyes you.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too.
It is one thing I find interesting about this setting is that, A, they diverge rather nicely, in my opinion, from the standard Tolkien-style elves. One of the ways in which they did it was that elves are cannibalistic. They regain memories and gain memories through eating the flesh of other beings. Indeed, if you play an elf, you can occasionally gain random skills from eating certain body parts of fallen enemies. Which, again, I think it's a pleasant diversion away from the standard Tolkienian formula for elves.
I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
I have no idea where your tongue has been, crazy lady.
She chuckles.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would.
Red cheek? Do you mean my beard? I mean, my beard's red, my cheeks are...
But, suit yourself, darling.
Yeah, I'm leaving before you start throwing feces at people.
She smiles.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate.
To punch or not to... Nah. This is just introducing everybody.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us.
Oh hey, and here we have Ifan Ben Mizet.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Does your 3 months' pay including getting something better looking than, you know, a red clansman uniform?
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
We'll go with the, some instinct cries out to salute him, but I'm gonna hold ourselves back. After all, we have no idea why he's here, but, you know, an enlisted man knows an officer when they see them.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Popping a
Yeah.
phlegmy gobbet in your general
does.
direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
So, why does, you know, Clansman Bob over here suspect you of murder?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing.
One thing I definitely have to add that I enjoy about this game,
Ifan grins,
Is-
flashing pointed white teeth.
the voice acting is incredibly well done in this. Additionally, the soundtrack is, quite frankly, exquisite, but
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
I'm just, yeah, I'ma just go now.
Ifan performs an elaborate...
Carrying on.
One of us in our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
A broad dwarf sits totally
And here
upright
we
on the
have
bench,
Beast.
eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Plats or plates? I'll have to look that up later.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Boy? Think again before you address me like I'm some sort of child.
He turns his head toward you, looking...
You look like a boy to me. Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
What the hell am I supposed to be hearing anyway?
The ship, of course.
You're crazy, aren't you? Let me friggin' humor you.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
The sea, it sounds angry.
The fellow cocks it.
That isn't anger. It's
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
Alright. Let's see, let's humor him at least, I suppose. He's the only other dwarf here that doesn't seem to be a friggin'... Well,
There now, just like that.
squeak.
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
Ow!
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
I heard it, but what was it?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
You shouldn't talk about doing something like that to such a magnificent beard man. We're dwarves!
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. Even here.
So, with knowing all of that, you must be some sort of practiced sailor. What does that mean? What, 10.4 nautical miles?
Captain, actually.
Oh.
That figure tells me we're getting close to the Joy. Close to what lies beyond it, too.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Alright.
Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
And here we have the Red
Don't you get
Prince.
saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce?
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I think we all know what reaction this would cause.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I'm not answering your damn questions.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore.
And over here we have Fate. We shall speak
The elf
with...
is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and prodding your nose.
No.
Fascinating.
What?
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
I am reading. Is this not evident? My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on a page. Damnable things.
What?
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
Wait, eyes are supposed to do the same thing?
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really.
Why did you think you could go and touch me like that?
Oh? Oh, I see. I crossed a cultural taboo. How difficult. You have my apologies, dwarf. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
You know, I think I'm going to leave.
When you clearly don't know the first thing about swords.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Would you be fine, collared like a dog and stuck in a ship's hold with a corpse and a murderer? Would you?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
This is another thing that I rather like how they did with the storytelling. They made the... They didn't give you a simple black and white thing with all the Magisters being these evil, mustache-twirling villains, and all the sorcerers being these, oh, they're so this poor, put upon people that, oh, if only they weren't these horrible people, these bigots that were... No, most of the Magisters are doing what they're doing because they genuinely believe that this is the right thing to do and the only way to, well, save people. But, here we go.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason.
And what reason do you have to wear... Why are there cuts in the... I don't know.
You head on in now. Williams will get...
And I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Alright, let's get this done. Let me... friggin' right.
And if she tries to run, shoot her kill.
Did I interrupt something?
Seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Cheese bread.
Murder most foul. I strongly suspect.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing
Camera.
a pair of nervous-looking
Camera.
Magisters. They keep their crossbow trained
Camera.
upon her as
What
she's
are you
being
doing?
interrogated
God
by
damn
an
it,
officer.
camera. Okay.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella.
So evidently we have X-ray vision and we're looking from the outside of the ship and there's lead here. Who knew?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
This is the lady, in case you didn't guess, this is the lady from the intro cinematic that summoned the, you know, demon apples.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Excuse me?
God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
What did you mean there are others whose lives must end?
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Aha! I shall fisticuff you! Come here! I mean, oh god, why? Ow! Oh, my head.
What's happened?
Oh. Alright, and with that, we shall end this recording here. Thank you all for watching. I hope that this was at least a